My name's Ian Gibbs. I am the head vet at Wave Vets, which is a small community-based veterinary surgery in Weybridge. I started Wave Vets up by accident. We started during COVID times. We were providing a home service to people that were shielding or isolating and couldn't necessarily or want to bring their animals into a community. The vets in the local area weren't doing home visits for their own protection, so they didn't end up being in a situation where there weren't vets available to treat animals, and so we decided that we would try and fill that gap.
Sure, it's alright, you've got your tight pants on.
We'll do 9:20, is that alright?
Yeah, fine.
Oops.
I'm not sure that I've always wanted to be a vet. I was very heavily swayed by my mother into being a vet. There is a very strong animal care, love for animals within the family. From a very young age, I think about 10 years old, I was taken up to the local animal sanctuary to walk dogs on Sundays and things like that. So my mum has pushed very heavily for it. I have to say it's a career I really enjoy, so it's not been the worst thing in the world, but I don't know that I actually had free choice at the age of 16 or 18 about what my career was going to be. Practice has opened in stages, I would say. So when we were first allowed to have some sort of movement again in COVID, which again was early June 2020, that was the point where we started providing some services because I was in a position to actually go to other people's houses and so on and so forth. It started very simply with me with a paramedic's bag with some relatively simple medications working out of the back of my 20-year-old. It then developed further because there was more people wanting to be seen that I could physically see, and so the way round it seemed to be to get a NHS ambulance and park in some car parks in Weybridge or Padstow. We were very kindly allowed to park in the local supermarket across from our building here, and the Padstow Garden Centre allowed us to park there, which meant that people could still be with their animals whilst they were being examined, so we could discuss treatment choices and so on and so forth. And again, things then spiralled from there. We've been very well supported by Weybridge and Padstow communities. Most certainly the people of Weybridge and Padstow, they do seem to support local ventures for sure. And again, I think because we were providing a service to them, in turn they have sort of kept an element of loyalty to us. We like living in town, we like being the local vets. Yeah, so we're kind of lucky to be here really. There is a small branch, not really a branch, more as a small consulting room in Padstow, which is where, again, traditionally we started with one of the ambulance sites. And again, that does help the local Padstonians having a slightly more local facility to go to for outpatient care. There isn't the toys that there is here. We have all the big toys here at the main surgery, but like I say, for outpatient care and routine checks, it's very handy for those guys, particularly the older guys that don't want to necessarily travel too far or rely on lifts. What challenges have the practice faced over the last few years? Surviving. We started off with a partial service and we weren't necessarily able to offer hospitalisation in those very early days. The local corporate practices were either very adverse to us existing or treated us with indifference, and so would have nothing to do with us. So that was fun. Finding the money to buy the equipment has been challenging. We have reinvested pretty much every penny that we've made into buying the next piece of kit or getting the next little building and so on and so forth. And so, like I say, we haven't taken out big loans to be able to have veterinary practices. We kind of paid as we've gone along. My hopes for the practice are we've made it this far, and so therefore it would be nice to get up to an enviable level of facility. Luckily, the adjacent building has come up for rent, and so it makes sense for us to take that building on as well. In there, really, at the minute we're working out of one consulting room, and there's 3 vets, so again we sometimes struggle to find a space for everybody. So next door we'll have 3 consulting rooms, a larger waiting room, so and a separate cat waiting area, so everyone's just got that bit more space and we're not all falling over each other, and the clients aren't all sort of falling over each other to get to the weighing scale. But that's where I want to top out. I don't want it to get bigger than a 3 or 4 vet practice, because I want to keep it small and local, really.